Lakers better than Warriors. What's going on? How's everybody doing this morning? Do y'all wonder to yourselves, like, how did, you know, there's this one dude on the TL, and I seen him say something this morning, and he was like, one, the team is not as bad as we think, and and the team that won the title isn't that much different. You know, that's what I can't. I'm having a hard time with that one. The team isn't that much different. You know, because in 2021, I was just kind of looking at the squad, right? Like we had bro, the league ain't that much different, bro. It's really not. Um you know, and here's why I say that. Because when I kind of look at how the league is bunched up, we're expecting teams that should be doing XYZ, and they're really not. You know what I'm saying? Like these teams are really not doing what we think they would do. Like, so for instance, look at a team like Denver, right? This is what I thought with Denver. I thought that the Denver Nuggets were going to they're fifth seed right now. They have 9 losses. We have 12. And we just blew 3 games in the most inexplicable way, right? So when I look at that team, I'm watching them and I'm like, you know, what's going on here, right? Like, why is a team like the Denver Nuggets, who just won a championship and they have championship moxie and all of that, and they're a fifth seed? The way that I see it is that they should be where the Timberwolves are. They won a championship, they got championship moxie. You know, usually when you win a championship, you and your team doesn't really change that much. You know, you fire out the gates, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just watching that team and it's like they have 9 L's, Sacramento has 8, Phoenix 10. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm seeing right here is these teams are just bunched up. You know what I'm saying? This is a lot of grouping right here. And we just blew 2 games to this team and this team. Like the 2 top teams, we like just gave them games basically, right? And they look super dominant. They got like a stupid defense, all of that stuff, right? And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, what is happening here? You know, the league is better. Are you sure about that? How much better is the league? I think more teams are better. How is it way better? Where? Where do you see it? But how is the league better? Was the league better last year? Bro, my point is this is that all there's a lot of bunching right here, man. There's a lot of bunching. And I'm telling y'all, if they make some crazy ass trade and like a bunch of people leave, because I know what's going on, bro. I'm watching that like how many of y'all expected Indiana to get shut down by the Lakers like they did the other night? How many people expected that? Now everyone did, right? Everyone expected that. All of a sudden, everyone expected that, right? Milwaukee traditionally is a better defensive team than the Lakers, right? And I literally just watched Milwaukee not being able to stop that team. You know, Houston took a leap. We, yeah, like a couple teams have taken a leap, man. Of course, their defense is real. I mean, their defense was real last year. And there's a lot of bad defensive teams. Like, there's a lot of bad defensive teams, man. these are top defenses, right? So if Minnesota is the best defense that we're going to see, right? Do you think we're going to have a problem with Minnesota? If that's the best defense that we're going to see in a playoff setting, why? Why is Minnesota? I would love for y'all to come up here and have this conversation with me about Minnesota. What is it about Minnesota's defense that is scaring y'all? It's not it's it's not you, it's me. It isn't them, it's us. All right, so let me ask y'all this because the team is pretty much the same, right? Like we go, all right, Jordan Poole ain't here anymore, right? So now we have this team. What is it about this team currently that's different from 2022? What's the difference? Do you think our guys have just fallen off of a cliff and they're just worse? I don't know, man. I'm terrified about a trade. Still early in the season, but I mean, yeah, I understand it, man. I get the reservation. I understand people are seeing like we're losing or whatever, and they are just going to panic, right? But I'm telling you, you see the same panic that's in right now. It's no different. It's no different from the panic that existed back in 2022. It was the same panic, bro. No, but even if we say, oh, the season starts, right? Like, do we win a title? So if y'all are making a trade, right? I want y'all to prepare for this because listen, I have no problem making a trade. Sure, let's make a trade. But if we make a trade, I hope y'all know that we probably won't win a title if we make a trade. You know what I'm saying? Because you still have to get these guys. Let me tell you something, bro. We're a rhythm team more than anything else. And the minute we make a trade, so all right, so what's the lesser of the evils, right? So say we're not in any position to win a title this year, right? We're in no position to win a title this year. You don't think we're good enough to win a title right now. And if we make a trade, we're still not good enough to win a title, correct? So if we're not if if we're not in any position to win a title in any scenario, shouldn't we just wait when we get to the when we get to the end of the year? Yeah. Last night we were doing that exercise and I was just trying to look at the pros and cons. Listen, bro, I'm telling you, if Clay don't sign that deal, he's getting traded anyway. Yo, that's the only thing I would be willing to I think Clay is going to get traded. I think he is. And you know what? I'm not even against it. I am not even against the Klay Thompson thing. We don't have time to wait, bro. We were saying that 2 years ago. The same thing. We don't have time to wait. Steph, we were saying that Steph is about to be 34, right? We don't have time to waste, right? Like that's what we were saying 2 years ago. We were literally saying that. And bro, people were bringing People were talking about Brad Beal. They were talking about this guy. 34 is different. No, it's not different, bro. Here's why it's not different. Because people were literally saying the same shit. You know what I'm saying? He's 33. He's about to be 34. Blah 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 blah. Right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. The arguments are no different. The arguments were the same. You know what I'm saying? The arguments were just about the same. What has happened to this team? Like, I don't know what's happened to them. LeBron is old too, Samuel. Don't get it twisted. He's old too. This is what y'all have to hope for. You see that injury that's about to come for the Lakers? You better hope it's not too severe because there is an injury coming. You know what I'm saying? Every year there is an injury that's going to be on its way. Yeah, there is an injury that's on its way. It's happened every single year, right? So you just have to hope that injury that's on its way, that it's not severe. You know what I'm saying? Every year that we've been a championship team, there has been an injury. Okay? 2017, the second half of the year, Kevin Durant gets hurt. Zaza Pachulia's big ass head lands into KD's knees or whatever, right? The next year, Steph get hurt. Steph twists his ankle real bad and he misses like a month, right? That happened. And then JaVale falls into Steph's knees and he missed like a whole round of the playoffs, right? 2019, Kevin Durant gets hurt in the middle of the playoffs. Okay. And they go on to make the finals or whatever, and they ultimately end up losing because of injuries. 2022, Klay Thompson is out for half the year. Draymond Green is out for like damn near 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry towards the end of the year is out. So what I'm saying is that injuries are going to happen because that's what happens to older guys, right? No, I'm not wishing for injuries. I'm being fucking practical, you dummy, right? So this is what I'm saying, right? Like injuries are going to happen. Every year there is one injury, always. That just fucks things up. But you got to hope that that injury is not severe where it's going to like throw you off of a cliff. You know what I'm saying? Wishing for injuries. No, I'm telling you what's going to happen because it's happened every fucking year. 2019, LeBron has the groin thing. You know what I'm saying? 2021, AD and LeBron gets hurt. 2022, look how many times LeBron was out and AD was out. You know what I'm saying? 2023, what happens in 2020? AD was out for some time. LeBron, he went to the LeBron James effete. How many years did you see somebody get hurt? Of course, are you not listening, you jackass? I literally just outlined our injuries. Now, the thing is that how severe is that injury going to be? And how sustainable is the team within that injury? Come on, bro. Open up your ears, man. Get LeBron's jizz out of your ears, dog, and listen to what I'm saying. I am saying, how are you going to sustain these injuries? You stupid LeBron fans don't listen. Jesus Christ. These kids are rolling around in your ears, bro. Open up your ears, man. Good Lord. Listening to argue. These stupid LeBron fans, man. You are dummies. You guys are dummies. Yeah, we could be, but we're not. And it's fine. It's fine. There's a lot of close games that we lost, but you know, as a championship team, we shouldn't be losing those close games. And when you're losing those close games, and when you don't have this margin right here, that makes me wonder. That makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. Pascal Siakam update. What's Sham saying? Okay, let's look at this. Let's see what Dre is saying. As buyers and sellers slowly reveal themselves to Masai. Let's share this tab. Let's see what Dre is saying here. As buyers, blah, blah, blah. Scotty Barnes. So Barnes is untouchable because he's young. All right. Yeah. That's interesting. Let me ask y'all this question because that's an interesting update, right? Would y'all be willing to trade for Pascal Siakam, knowing that he might walk in free agency in the summer? No, I'm like legit asking the question because here's the thing. So say wait the damn trade for Clay, right? Say they damn trade Clay because that's a natural contract, right? They trade away Klay Thompson, and Klay Thompson is there, and you get Pascal Siakam back in that dynamic. Are you willing at that point to take on Pascal Siakam, knowing that he might walk at the end of the year? So what if they do a handshake deal and said, we're about to give you the max, but your max is $250 million? What's a fair contract for Pascal Siakam, knowing that we have a second apron? That's what I want to know. All right. What are you willing to trade away for Lauri Markkanen? The house for Lauri. Oof. Okay. So Lee, I got a lot of hate the other night because I had reservations about a trade, bro. You should have seen the shit that people were saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I am not sold out, bro. Like, so now, I don't know that I'm sold on a trade, man. I'm telling you because what it looks like is that Pascal Siakam is gettable. You know what I'm saying? Like he's very gettable. But the thing with Pascal is that, he's gonna come with a high price tag. You know what I'm saying? A very high price tag. At least with Lauri, you have him now and you have him for another year. You know what I'm saying? So that's tough. Would you trade Pods for Lauri? In a fucking heartbeat, I would. Hell yeah. How about y'all? Would you trade Lauri for? Oh my god, I'd do that in a fucking heartbeat, bro. Of course, I love Pods too. I'll pack his bags for him. Y'all hearing me? Man, I'm telling you, I'm making that trade in a heartbeat. I'm making that trade in a heartbeat, man.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, bro? Somebody just sent me something that I should check my Amazon account and make sure the default isn't going to an Amazon hub or some shit.
Mm.
Yeah, they said that Amazon got hacked or some shit.
Uh-oh.
I don't order a lot of stuff on Amazon. So,
Same here. I
yeah.
don't think I have a card save on there. Yeah, I don't see Pascal being the answer. I think it's just another version of Kaminga, especially how Kerr runs his system. He's not. If we're looking for a true second option, I think he's just more the same of what we have. It's like a lateral move to me. That's just me.
He has his
Let me
skill.
ask you a question because we talk about second option and all of this stuff, and we've been kind of floating this idea all season long, right? Um, Give me a player that would be on the lower end of what your expectations would be for a second option. So say we traded for the second option that people want, right? Um, what is that second option? And what is the minimum player, like minimum name that you would
The minimum name,
yeah. So I'm looking for an example.
DeJounte Murray.
Huh?
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray is the lowest player for a second option.
For me, yes.
I could see that, but for me, it's like think about the conditions it takes to play for the Warriors, and especially at this particular stream of time that we're in the season. If we're expecting a second option to be the answer to cure turnovers and get us to the finals, it's not going to happen in December to April. It's just me. Like
that is my exact point too. You know what I'm saying? So if we were to
the only option, and it's not possible, is Kevin Durant. That's it. Because he knows the system, he will come back here, fit like a glove, and we'll be back to basically 2018 status. There's nobody on the market who fits that. The closest thing is probably Laurie, but I even think that's somewhat far-fetched.
Oh, that's a good question. How many turnovers did we have in a championship year? All right, so let's look at it like this. Let's look at it by turnover percentage. Because it seems like the turnovers are way worse now than they were before. So
And I have another question too after that, Urkel. I was going to ask you too, as you look that up, is there any way we could see the number of games we won like in a championship year, like in the very end, like games within like a 5 to 10 points within the fourth quarter versus this year? Like, because I feel like that's the only, I mean, our bench is better than it's ever been. So the differences that I see, as you pointed out, if we won 3 of those games, we at the top of the conference.
So Lee, what I don't want to do, and what I'm trying to have people avoid, but people are so fucking crazed right now because they're losing these games, and they're losing these games, and it's gut wrenching, right?
Right.
It's gut wrenching, bro. Like I am not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything, bro. It's like I'm getting stabbed every night. You know what I'm saying? Every night I watch this team and they jump out to a big lead and then we get into the second half and then nonsense is happening at the end of the game. I feel like I am getting stabbed and somebody's looking me in my eyes and stabbing me and smiling.
And you can't do nothing about it either.
Bro, like I feel like somebody is walking up to me, stabbing me, and smiling and twisting a knife, bro. So it's like I understand where y'all are coming from, right? But it's like, fuck, right? It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
The thing is, it's like this to me. I put this on a TL, and I'm sorry to take you away from your train of thought in terms of these turnovers. And the question from the person in the chat, I'm sorry. But I used this analogy maybe about 2 weeks ago about a car, right? If I know that I can't get to a certain destination, I know it's the tires that are an issue. I'm gonna change it. I'm not gonna focus on, chip paint here, like the air conditioning, not necessarily the best. I'm gonna take care of like the tire first. I feel like some of the solutions is people just trying to fix the air conditioning when the most pertinent issue is the second star. I know right now, like with what we have in regards to using that analogy with the tire, we could get to where we need to go if we just put air in it. We'll worry about this, the new tire once we get to the destination. Mm-hmm. But if we try to change the tire with a spare that's probably done and won't even get us to where we need to go, it's really no point to actually putting a spare on it. So my point is essentially is this. I think, like you said, it's like these losses are so gut wrenching. All we thinking is like our flight and fight response is like, we gotta change everything. We gotta change everything. It's like, bro, let's calm down and look at what actually is taking place. It's unreal in terms of how they lose these games. But if they just won these 3 games, which is highly probable, I don't think we would be looking at everything else. We would just be focusing on the fact that we could just improve and make sure that we don't put ourselves in those situations and hopefully start winning. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see this team as being so bad as people are making it out to be. Even though I know a second option is needed, but the type of option that we need, I don't think it comes in this season. I think it comes once the season is over.
Yeah, and see, that's so I know this, right? Because you can assign our template to a lot of teams over and over again, right? So it's almost like I am very weary about trades because, one, I know we're not going to get the ideal deal in the middle of the season, right? That usually happens towards the end of the year. But then there's the thing where Steph Curry is 35 years old, bro. Like, what are we doing here, right? So that's why I'm like, okay, we can get an expiring, right? But are we going to get the type of haul that the Lakers got last year, right? So what we should be doing is that we should be looking at guys who are about to be on expirings, right? And can we trade very little stuff? Because if you think about a player like Rui Hachimura, right? Rui Hachimura helped the Lakers last year. So what type of player are a team about to give up, like a losing team that they can give up, right? That player then can come in and fit and contribute, right? So think of the Rui Hachimura example is a perfect example of kind of what I'm talking about, right? So say Washington didn't want to pay Rui. They didn't want to pay him. So they're like, you know what? We're just going to trade away. And they gave away Rui for peanuts. So we have to think of an example like that. That's the example that we have to think of.
Nick Claxton.
That might be a possibility, right? So I like Nick Claxton. Here's why I like Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is a big and he's fucking switchable, right? Like, did you see what he did on defense when he was with Brooklyn? Look where Brooklyn was on defense with Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton last year was a defensive player of the year option. You know what I'm saying?
I think he led the league in field goal percentage too.
Bro, and anytime I think about these bigs, I'm like, can they switch on the perimeter? That's the first fucking question I'm asking, right? If they can switch on the perimeter and if they can move their hips side to side and steer the ball handler, I am all there, right? And I think Nick Claxton. So see, I'm not opposed to a trade. I'm really not, right? But can that big fit in our scheme, right? Because, bro, I don't know if y'all have been watching this shit. Oh, because I don't think they want to pay Nick Claxton. So would we be willing to trade Nick Claxton and then
what is it going to cost to get him?
That's what I'm saying, right? Are you willing to trade for Nick Claxton and then pay Nick Claxton at the end of the year? You know what I'm saying? Because no. It's not about how much he's making right now. It's about what he will be making. What is his market? You know what I'm saying? Because that is why the Lakers got a big contract off the book, right? A massive contract. So they got that massive contract off the book, and then they were able to trade for a bunch of expiring guys, and then they were able to pay those expiring guys because they were in a down market, right? Now, what is the financial implications of these new TV deals or whatever, right? Like, bro, this is not a really simple problem to solve. You know what I'm saying? It's really not, right? So
hey,
these are the dynamics, bro.
So did you look up the turnover percentage?
Oh, yeah. So when I was looking at, so this is 2022, right? This is where the turnover percentages are, right? So we were at the bottom of the league, okay? So how I do this, I do everything relative to league average, right? So in terms of, turnover percentage, we were second worst in terms of turnover percentage this year, right? So 13.5, 12.3. So that's like a +1 basically, right? So we were +1 worse than the league in 2022, right? Everything I do, I look at it relative to the league. Okay, so then I go to here, and we are, so instead in 2022, we were ranked here. Now we're here, right? So we are at 13.6, 12.5. So again, +1 relative to the league. So if we're looking at it relativity wise, we are pretty much the same in terms of turnovers. We are turning the ball over at the same rate, at the same percentage. And relative to the league, we're still +1 worse than the league. One point worse than the league in terms of turning over the ball, turnover percentage wise, right? So then I look at the defense. This is the problem. We were here and now we're here. This is literally the problem. This is literally the problem right here. This is what the problem is. It's the defense. Right? So GP2 has been out. Wiggins he's been in and out. Draymond has been in and out. Those are our 3 best defenders. And I am frustrated with Gary Payton Jr. because we traded stuff for him, right? We had GP2, damn near for free in 2022. And now he's making like $10 million or something like that. And then we just had to trade real shit for him. And now he's not available. I am frustrated with that. I'm super frustrated. I'm going to be honest with you. If I could get a trade for GP2, I'm probably doing it. Because my thing is this. The thing about GP2 is that if I can get a trade for Alex Caruso, I'm probably doing it at this point. Because I'm so frustrated. He's always hurt, bro. A calf injury? Are you fucking kidding me? A non-contact injury? Right? So that hurts us, man. That literally hurts us. Right? So on ball, he is one of the best. You know what I'm saying? And he was super disruptive. So if you look at what we were doing in 2021, we had all our guys, bro. All of them. GP2, Belly, Otto. We had all our guys available. Draymond was available. He was super engaged. Draymond wasn't missing half the fucking game so far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you think that playing with these defensively slanted lineups is part of why he keeps getting injured? Like the same thing happened with Steph and Draymond early in this season?
You mean GP2?
Yeah, like Steph was overcompensating going into the paint, and that's where he got dinged up on the leg. GP2 is out there with small lineups trying to balance things defensively. I think like that extra strain did it.
Nah, but I mean, like that's what he gets. Forrest, I hear what you're saying, but that's what they pay him to do, bro, and that's all he does. Like he's on the ball. I don't see him down there battling 7-footers necessarily. I see him on the perimeter and he's chasing people around. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't see him block Wembanyama twice?
No. That's fine. And those are weak side blocks, but those are the things that he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's down there and he's guarding people like he's guarding a post up. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that he's doing is just being disruptive, which is what they pretty much pay him for. So if you're getting hurt to do what they're paying you to do, it's like, oh my God, it's like, fuck, And he is a cheat code. Don't get me wrong, bro, because like he's like 6'2" or 6'3" or something, but he's fucking strong. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not necessarily about like your height sometimes, but if you can like displace like a 7-footer and you're a 6'3" player, that actually means something. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they don't necessarily want to call calls or make calls on the smaller guy. You know what I'm saying? So you get to be a little bit more physical half the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Derek White is a better player than GP2.
I just think of like getting Caruso the same way you might think of getting Siakam, in the sense that Chicago knows he's valuable and they might like try to get picks and stuff out of us that I would not give for that kind of player.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would probably trade for Caruso at this point because, I'm seeing where this GP2 thing is starting to affect us now because he's out again. You know what I'm saying? Again, he's out. Like that shit affected us towards the end of the season last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's just always like these ancillary guys being out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They have a role, but they're not doing heavy lifting like the other guys are. You know what I'm saying? Especially Steph. He's not doing that type of heavy lifting, right? So if you're getting hurt doing your role, it's like fuck, we're trying to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? You might need to go.
Yeah, well, that's why he was in the G League for so long. Like he couldn't stay healthy and he couldn't score.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's tough, man. I mean, you have to stay healthy, bro. Like you have to stay healthy. So I don't know what is going on where he's playing, 25 minutes a game maybe, and he's getting hurt. It's like, fuck, bro. That really hurts us, Forrest, how come you sound so low? You probably got headphones on, huh?
I don't have a good microphone. I'm literally just talking into my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think everyone on that Chicago team is available. That's just my personal opinion.
Yep.
Everyone on that Chicago team is available, right? So we just have to figure out like what we can do to bolster the team. You know what I'm saying? And again, I know people love GP2. You know what I'm saying? Like Abney loves GP2, and I completely understand why, because the dude is kind of a cheat code, but that's a big contract,
Availability matters.
Yeah. Somebody texts me right now, and they're like, they don't think Alex Caruso is available.
I wouldn't be surprised. The Bulls have been he's been leading the Bulls to a lot of wins recently.
Bro, GP2 is found money to me, bro. Like I consider him found money. Like when you're about to go out and you're like, fuck, like, all right, it's kind of tight, but I'm going to try to go out anyway. And you find that extra $20 and it just gives you peace of mind. That's what GP2 is, bro.
When will he be back?
I don't know, man.
He was on the bike yesterday working out pretty hard. So I think maybe he could be back real soon.
But you don't think GP2, that injury hurt us? You know what I'm saying?
100%, bro. Him and Steph together are like a super net positive. Like it's fucking crazy. Like that Spurs game that we won, bro. We won it because of GP2, bro. Like his defense changed that game.
The thing is though, like GP2 isn't the difference from blowing these leads. Like 3 wins.
I disagree with that. I 100% disagree with that because look at the other night. I think GP2 and Draymond is the key to this small ball shit. Because look at the other night, right? Where fucking Jalen Williams and Shea is just cooking us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You put GP2 out there, you think they're getting away with that shit like they are? You know what I'm saying? You got Wiggins, Draymond, and then this is what I think we need to consider.
But what I'm saying is this: I think they will help in those moments. I totally agree with you, but the fact that we were in those moments in the first place, I don't think they stopped that You know what I mean? Like
Lee, I'm telling you,
Mhm.
the formula is this, and this is what the 2022 formula was, right? Get guys going in the Steph Curry system that can play defense. And what's happening now is that we have guys out there with Steph Curry who are not locked down. You see that team in 2022, they were locked down, bro. They were literally locked down because you had GP2 out there, you had Wiggs, you had Draymond, right? Now we don't have any one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? So we're playing small. And in 2022, we were playing small, but the defense was crazy, right? And now we're playing small. We're replacing guys who are not defenders, and we're small at the same time. I remember we were small that year, and we were fucking killing people, bro. Because what was happening is that we were leaning defense, and then we were just letting Steph Curry help those non-defenders score, right? The problem is that Steph is having other people score, and he's making other people better, but then they can't fucking get a stop on the other end. This is what the numbers are telling me, right? Do y'all see that any other way?
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's pretty much what's happening. It literally, that explanation is literally in the numbers. You can see it in the numbers. We're a better offense now than we were a couple years ago, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, the offense is really not the problem. You know what I'm saying? So I hear people saying like, oh, the offense, and we need this guy, we need that guy. Bro, they are middle of the pack right now in terms of offense. They're 18th in the league in defense right now. That's not going to win you shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Lakers are a 110. They're 4 points better than us on defense. They're allowing, 4 points less than we are. We need to get into the 111s, the 110s, you know what I'm saying, to have a chance to win the title. If that defense, I don't give a fuck who you trade for, right? If that defense is not a 110, we don't stand a chance.
But the thing is, Irk, like, I know it's a small sample size, but when they take these leads in the first half, like in the first quarter against OKC, I think OKC only scored 26 points in the first quarter. Like, they held them under 30. There was no GPT on the court. So they're more than capable of playing the defense. I think GP2 mitigates a lot of the turnovers. 29. I don't know if he I'm sorry. I don't know if GP2 mitigates 29 turnovers. But in terms of carrying over that defensive consistency the next 3 quarters, like, you think he's that much of a difference in terms of focus? If you have him on the court, that stops leads from being blown?
That's tough. I mean, I think the defense is really fueling that, though, Lee. I'm telling you, because it's like when our guys are on defense now, I cringe, right? Like I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good, right? In 2021, we were able to get some offense from Jordan, then sit him, put GP2 on, right? So we were just way more flexible and way more malleable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we had the Otto Porter thing where he could do some rebounding, he could defend a little, he could shoot some threes, right? So it's like we had more. The way that we're playing, and this is why the coaching looks bad, because Steve Kerr is trying to coach guys to play as a unit and to play together, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you're not able to get stops, it looks like Steve Kerr is a fucking terrible coach, right? And in some ways you can say that's an indictment on him because, he's the coach and all of this stuff, right? But when you're out there and you're running these lineups and no one can get a stop, right? What Ricky G is saying is not far-fetched. When you can't get stops and your point of attack is cooked, you're fucked, right? And Ricky G was saying it the other day, and I was listening to him, and he was like, listen, the problem is not a big. A big is not the problem, right? He's like, point of attack is your problem. And our point of attack defense in 2022 was absolutely spectacular. Go back and look at it. I was playing the video.
Yeah. It was hellacious. I remember when they played against the Hawks in the first half of the season. Yeah. And GP2 was on a tear. I think that was one of the best games he played for us ever. And I looked at the defense. I'm like, that's a championship team. I haven't seen really too many of those moments.
Yeah. And do I think the team is a championship team? I'm going to look at the numbers and I'm going to say, no, they're not. Mm-hmm. Right. So when GP2 got hurt in that game, and I saw that it was a non-contact injury, a lot of people have the opinion like, oh, it's just GP2. We can put this guy in there. No, bro, he's fucking important because, point of attack defense, when you're bringing him off the bench and you're playing and you're having him play that role, it's a rotation guy that is doing something that is super disruptive. Look at what they did to Halliburton the other night. When you take away the head of the snake like that, and you're doing it with a minimum player, you know how fucking demoralizing that is?
Yeah.
Right? So Cam Reddish is taking away some guy from the Pacers who's making $40 million, right? And when you're doing that, and you're doing it with somebody on that type of salary, you know how much of that's literally winning on the margins. You feel me? Like you're winning on the margins at that point, right? So this is the thing, like kind of when I look at this team, I'm like, that's what's missing. You can look at the numbers, right? And you can look at it quantitatively. So the thing that I do is that I look at the numbers quantitatively, right? And I look at it qualitatively, right? So I look for the qualitative stuff. So what's the qualitative stuff? The qualitative stuff is
like eye tests,
eye test, GP2, right? Like things like that. GP2 is not going to necessarily show up in the raw box score, right? Plus minus wise, he's going to show up because plus minus is essentially measuring qualitative factors, right?
Which is quantitative.
Exactly, right? So it's plus minus is really, showing you qualitative factors quantitatively, if that makes sense, right?
Yep.
So that's the point of plus minus. But the problem with plus minus is that you need some sample size in there. And what we're seeing qualitatively now is that the defense is broken. Why is the defense broken? The defense is broken because, GP2 is out. Draymond is doing stupid shit, right?
But the thing is, Irk, like the tenets of a great defense are there. Like in spurts during the game, when it gets to these 20-point leads, it shows you that it's there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. It's broken right now, but it doesn't mean that it can't be unbroken because you have dudes who were drilled into their mind this year. Connectivity. That changed. You remember last year there was no connectivity. Beginning of this year, that's all Kerr and players kept talking about, being connected on defense. So
Lee, that's why I told y'all, man, I was like, listen, that's why I was so mad about the Draymond thing, right? Because it's not like Draymond is going to go somewhere else and average 20, right? Like, okay. This is why Steph Curry is an all-time great to me, okay? The 01 Sixers had a great defense. Thea Ratliff, Aaron McKee, like they had dudes.
Dikembe, Eric Snow.
Right? Eric Snow, right? Dikembe Mutombo that they traded halfway throughout the year. Allen Iverson led the league in steals. Wasn't much of a defender, but he played the fuck out of the passing lanes. Who does that remind you of?
Steph.
Bro, here's what I'm saying. The formula that the 76ers used and made the finals, they won like 56 games in 01, is the same formula that we've been using pre-KD and post-KD.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why it looks way better than those Sixers teams and all of those teams that used to follow that formula, because that blueprint, it got you to a point, but it didn't really get you over the top. You know what I'm saying? So you think about that. You think about those teams and the formula that they used, right? It was a bunch of defenders around Allen Iverson, right? The difference is that Allen Iverson was, I think, a below league average scorer. That's the one thing. Steph Curry is like, in terms of true shooting and all of that, he is like year in, year out, he's like a plus 10. You know what I'm saying?
He is like the complete opposite of Allen Iverson when it comes to efficiency.
Complete opposite, right? So let me try to pull up a year. Let me go all the way back here. right? There got to be an easier way to do this, but I don't know. On the fly. So let me look this up. I'm going to go all the way back to 2001, right? Allen Iverson wins the MVP that year. Okay. And let me find what the league true shooting was. It was 50, bro. Think about that, bro. 51.8, right? So league average in true shooting was 51.8, bro. 51.8 means that they were fucking throwing rocks at each other, bro.
Pretty much. What is it now? Like 54, 55, 56?
Right? So 50, what, bro? It's like 57% or something like that. 56%. It's stupid, right? So 51.8 is what the league average was in 2001. Okay. Allen Iverson in 2001. Let's look this up. Allen Iverson in 2001. He won the scoring title that year, made the finals, right? Mm-hmm. Let's look at Allen Iverson's true shooting percentage, right? And 51.8 is what league average was. Allen Iverson was at league average, literally at league average. Wow. And he scored 30, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, let me show you the difference between him and Steph Curry. Okay. Steph Curry in 2016, right? So Allen Iverson is pretty much a net with league average, right? So he's like a 0.1 basically, right? Mm-hmm. He's a plus 0.1. Steph Curry, that in 16 was 66.7.
That's
okay.
15 over the league average of 2000.
That's like 13 over league average, right? So you understand what I'm saying? Yep. So Allen Iverson had the defense behind him. Steph Curry had the defense behind him. The only difference is that Steph Curry was fucking breaking basketball because he scored 30 on plus 13 scoring volume. Matter of fact, he led the league in scoring and efficiency. That never happens, ever, right? What do I mean by that? When I say he led the league in volume and efficiency. Okay, let me show you what that means. If I can find the scoring thing. Hold on. So this is what that means. Okay, if I were to sort by by scoring, right? So say I do this, I expand all of this, right? And I look at points per game. 30.1 led the league in scoring. Okay. Now let me go down to true shooting percentage. Okay. Let me find true shooting percentage. Steph Curry was number 1, 66.9. And you know what? They don't sort. They don't make any qualifiers. They don't do anything like that, right? This is
that's insane. I see JJ Redick in there. That means they wasn't doing minimum attempts.
No, they're not doing minimum attempts, bro, because Hassan Whiteside is in there, bro.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Jan Mahimni is in there. Dwight Howard is in there. Jonas Valanciunas, Tristan Thompson, right? Steven Adams. Enes Kanter is in there as well. DeAndre Jordan. So all of these guys that, that are dunkers basically, like, and they play around the rim. This is what these guys are doing.
And they're getting less attempts. So if a dude's getting only 2 attempts and he's making 2, of course he's going to shoot a high percentage. But if Steph is getting like 20 attempts per game and still shooting better percentage than those dudes, you can't really comprehend that.
Well, his true shooting. So leading the league in volume, in efficiency. This is leading the league in efficiency. And it's pretty much saying that you are putting the ball in the hoop more efficiently, regardless of attempts, regardless of volume, regardless of shot distance. This is what you're doing. And Steph's shot distance was fucking insane, right? So he's taking the hardest shots in the league, right? And he's the most efficient player. So he's fucking breaking the league. So now imagine you have the best defense in the league behind you, or one of the best defenses in the league behind you. That is why they were winning so many games, right? Because teams who typically, Chicago kind of followed this as well, right? And Michael Jordan had a bunch of defenders with him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have like a Chris Bosh or a Kevin Love and a Kyrie Irving and all of that, right? His game is malleable enough to where he can do this and he can do this at the same point, right? So he's leading the league in volume and efficiency, right? So what he's able to do as well is that out of this unreal efficiency, he's making other people better. And that's what the formula is, because if you cannot make your guys better, there's no point in being one of the best players in the league, right? So now this is what true shooting is now, 57% in 2001. So from 2001 to here,
it went up 6 points.
People are shooting, league average is 6 points better, bro. 6 points better. Right? So it's not offense that they really catch up with, right? It's not necessarily the offense. Right? Like offensively, all of these teams are taking more threes and all of this stuff, right? This is where we're ranked right now in terms of true shooting.
57%.
But this should be fine. You know what I'm saying? We're like right around league average, right? But what's happening is that a lot of guys around us are not shooting well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys around us are not shooting well. Steph Curry is the only one that's really shooting the ball well. So Steph Curry, relative to his team, he's like 10 points better. Relative to league average, Steph Curry is around 10 points better than league average. In 2016, Steph Curry was plus 13. In 2023, when all of these teams are shooting threes and all of this stuff, Steph Curry is still a plus 10 relative to league average. Now, what's the difference? The difference is this shit right here, bro. This is the fucking difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
If I am looking at 2022 versus 2024, the difference is we were number one and we were league average was around 106, right? Or sorry, the best defensive team was around a 106. We went from a 106 down to a 114, which is pretty much where we were last season. That is not good enough. That's where the problem is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we fix this? We need to fix it by figuring out how we can fix the defense, okay? Now, people say rim protector, this, that, and the other. When people say Nick Claxton, right, my ears perk up because I was watching Nick Claxton last year and I was like, this motherfucker can switch, right? I need people when these point guards like Halliburton start to target and James Harden and all of those people, I need somebody out there that can move their hips from side to side. I am not against Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is not even an obvious name, but he's a guy that we can think about.
All right, Eric, you convinced me. I don't think we truly need a second star. It's in the defense.
It's the defense, bro. Because the people that have the vision of a second star, bro, I would love a second star. You saw what happened when KD was here. It was unstoppable, but you have to be able to stick within that formula. You know why Steve Kerr is looking bad? Because I don't think he has the personnel to play the way that he wants to play, right? And it's like he's trying to square peg round hole. It's like he's just trying to force it in there, right? And it's like it's just not working because he doesn't have, and it's GP2 being out, it's Wiggins being out, it's Draymond being out. They don't have all of these guys at the same time, right? So, think 2001 Sixers, a bunch of defenders around Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was a positive or a slight positive in terms of efficiency. And they had playmakers around him because you know what the Iverson cut is, right? You have to have somebody passing them the ball to get that Iverson cut. You know what I'm saying? It's a similar thing, right? So the difference is that Steph Curry is just so much better than Allen Iverson relative to the league and all of that. He's just so much better.
Yeah, the thing is, when you pointed out the true shooting percentage relative to the league and Steph, I love these macro perspectives because it gives you like clues and understanding even on the micro level. The fact that he's still a plus 10 relative to the league, that shows you the offense is still elite. It's still all-time top tier. But the defense is the only thing that's really slipped. That was awesome.
So they are at a 115 right now, right? They're at a 115. Now, in 2022, where were they? Let's look back on 2022 because that's what we want to fucking replicate, man.
Mm-hmm.
right? So they are running a more efficient offense, bro. So they're 3 points better now. You know what I'm saying? They're 3 points better now. They're 3 points better. But look where the defense was. They're 3 points better now than they were then. All right.
6.
Let me show you something. So here we are at a 115. Okay. So right now we're at a 115 here. So we're at a 115. Now let me go all the way back.
I think it said 106.
No. The offense. I mean.
Oh, okay.
Right. So let me go back to when Kevin Durant was here.
Last year.
So in 2019, the last year that I'm using, we led the league with a 115 defense, bro. We were the best offense in the league with a 115 offense. You know what I'm saying?
109 defense. Is that what it says?
Yeah, I'm 109 defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's why, bro, and I know it's hard because I'm getting stabbed and the guy is stabbing me in my chest, or a woman is stabbing me in my he's smiling at me right now, right? This is why it hurts, because I'm like, okay, we got the offense down because this is where we're around a 115. This is what we were getting in 16, right? And I'm looking at the defense. We're not even here defensively. And that team wasn't even that good defensively. Mm-hmm. We were crying about how bad they were defensively. We were 13th in defense that year with a 109, right?
What was the well, I know you're not going to look it up right now, but I want to know what it was in the playoffs. Did it change? I think it got better, right?
Yeah, it got way better. Because
but we did struggle against the Clippers in the first round, and then it went.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So kind of when I look at it, let me see here. Let me go down to here. Let me see. Right. So yeah. Or sorry, what year is this? Okay. So we go down to 2024, right? And Lee, I am confused by this league now because I'm seeing defenses be better this year, but then I'm looking at this shit and it's like, this is crazy, right? But then I watched the other night and I'm seeing the Lakers get super physical on the perimeter. So I'm telling y'all, this is why. So I think this is why we do so well on playback, because everything me and Dre do on playback, we're doing it relative to what's going on in basketball. This is why we like pick these random games every night and we just like watch them with y'all, right? Because I want to know what's going on relative to the league and what our chances are going to be relative to the league. And I'm going to be honest with you, relative to the league, I think we're right in the middle of the pack, bro.
Heck, the wins and loss say it without even looking at the advanced numbers. With three games for being at the top of the conference.
It's so tough, man. I mean, and then when you look at the standing, it's like, well, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? And it's so hard. It's so hard to decipher from. Like,
bro, we got a better offensive rating than the Timberwolves. They're the best team in the conference right now.
Yeah, and how are they doing it, bro? They're doing it through defense.
Yep.
Right. So
that's
this
the difference.
Yep. So all right, if we are, say we trade for Lauri Markkanen, right? Is Lauri Markkanen going to get our defense back to?
No.
Is he going to get our defense back right around here? Right.
No.
So this is 2024, right? So we're in 2024. Is Lauri going to get our defense right back here?
Mm-mm.
Is he going to be good in terms of the shit that you can run? But I like if we're going to trade for a game changer, is a game changer getting us back here? This is a question that we have to ask. Mm-hmm. Is Pascal Siakam going to get us back here? He might. He might. Right? So last night when we were having this discussion, I'm asking, what's the player that's going to help us to get back here? Because I'm going to be honest with you, no team outside of here is going to win a championship, right? You see all these teams right here? These are the teams that are going to win you championships, right? So look at the correlation between a high defensive rating, right, Look at the correlation between a high defensive rating. So these are the top 7 defensive teams. +7, +4, +8, +3.5, +5, +8. You see what I'm saying? There is a strong correlation between the best teams in the league and net rating. And I'm going to, I have not seen a team be a +4 team below a +4 team and win the title. It just doesn't happen.
You know what this is telling me too? I think more than ever, the net rating is going to be more impact. I mean, it's always impacted by these 2 numbers, the offensive rating and the defensive rating. But I think more valuable now in this era is the defensive rating. Because look at that.
Yeah, because
Minnesota has a worse offense than us. It doesn't make a difference. They're number 1 in the conference because of the defense.
Look where they're ranked offensively, bro. Like, look where they're ranked offensively. Minnesota, they're a 114 offense. They're worse than us. But they have Rudy Gobert, right? And look where they're ranked. Rudy Gobert is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Just prep yourself for that, right? It's happening. He's going to win, right? So a 106 defense is 3 points better than the next best team. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. So they are dominant right now, but they're a big team. They got 2 stiffs down there. Not really 2 stiffs, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like,
and the thing is, we competed with them pretty easily. It didn't look like they were like leagues better than us.
Draymond got suspended, bro. Draymond got kicked out. Clay got kicked out. Steph wasn't playing. Like, was Wiggins even playing that game too?
I don't think so,
bro. Like. And we're losing those games, and we were in those games, and then I come on the timeline, and people are like, "Well, what the fuck? Did you expect them to win that game? Of course not." You know what I'm saying? Now, if we bring a player in and they can help with this right here, this is what I am interested in, right? This is what I'm interested in. As tantalizing as Lauri is, I don't know that he helps with this. Do you see what I'm saying? This is what we need to help with, because what Steph Curry is going to do is that he's going to keep these guys who are enabling this on the floor, right? Every year, the formula has not changed. Basketball has changed, but the formula has not changed. If you are a star and you can make your guys better, this is what making your guys better mean. Making your guys better means, can you keep, in a championship context, can you keep your defensive guys on the court so they can create hell on defense? You know what I'm saying? Why has LeBron failed so many times is because LeBron, he has to have specific guys on the court. He has to have 3-and-D guys on the court. He has to have that big on the court. This is why when people are bashing Anthony Davis is a fucking cheat code, bro. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron has that. We don't have the luxury of that, bro. Where are we going to find somebody like that? We can't. So we have to stick with Draymond. We have to stick with the other guys, right? But if you are telling me that Pascal Siakam is going to get us here, guess what? Thompson, you got to go, bro. It's nice knowing you. I will put Moses Moody in there.
Hey, right? Irk, what was our offensive rating the year that Clay wasn't there? Can you look that up? The
2021, right?
Yeah, 2020, 2021. So this year we're ranked 12th, I think, in offensive rating. But what was it relative to the league?
I'm going to be honest with you. It's not going to be cute. It's going to be right around a 111.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I'll have to go on NBA.com and do some sorting or whatever. But for the first couple of games when Klay Thompson wasn't there, right? Like the first half of the season, the defense was up there, right? The offense was up there. It was around like a 113 or something like that, right?
What about when they closed out the season? Was it like at a 115?
So when they closed out the season, I remember this. It went from like a 112 roughly when before Clay, like it went to like a 1, and I think they ended when Draymond was out. It was like a 114, right? So they got better on offense, right? When Clay got back, but they also got worse on defense because Draymond wasn't there.
Mm.
And when they mixed everything in and they got it right, they won a championship, right? So yeah, we are not good enough, right? I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything and be Pollyanna. We are not good enough right now. 100% we're not. But the problem is we need to get back here. How do we get back here? GP2 has been out. Draymond has been out. Andrew Wiggins has been out. Those are our 3 best defenders, and we lean defense, right? So if those guys are out, who are you relying on? You're relying on Pods. You're relying on, like
Klay Thompson.
So this is and the funny thing is that we're leaning on guys, and they haven't even been that bad relative, right? So we're playing small ball. Draymond isn't out there, and we're holding the fort as much as we can. And this is where our defense is, right? We're middle of the pack without Draymond. When you get Draymond in there and the other guys, we should be right around here. This is what should happen. I'm not going to say it's going to happen because I'm getting stabbed in my fucking chest over and over again.
So
and it's excruciating.
So when we started the season at 6-2, 6-3, what was our defensive rating then? I think we were top 5.
We were top 5, bro. We were absolutely top 5.
So was there. Like we had all our guys at the particular point.
Yeah.
And we beat some good teams.
We were defending our asses off, bro. And now what happened is that guys are now in and out of the lineup. You know what I'm saying? We were playing the hockey substitution, no problem, bro. I'm winning games, and dudes were playing 25. Klay and Wiggins were playing like 25 minutes a game, and we were winning, right? So, yeah, it's tough, man. But even if the defense is a 114 with Draymond without, like, still a problem, bro. Like if we're to enhance it, right? We need something defensive. We need a cog in there. So if you're telling me that we can trade for Pascal Siakam, absolutely, right? But if we have championship aspirations, I can't say it anymore. We cannot be lower than a 110. It's impossible. It's impossible. We can't be 110.
I like the Nick Claxton idea if it doesn't require giving up everything. Because
now I hear people going for the big names and all of this stuff, and I love Lauri, right? But it requires some stuff, man. It really requires some stuff.
And another thing too, how do you feel about? It's only been like a week or two. There's only been like 2 or 3 games. Do you feel like Kuminga is finally coming to a particular place where we can count on him, or do you feel like he's still potential trade piece for something else?
Say who again? Kuminga?
Yeah.
I think Kuminga can help us on both ends. I think he can help us on both ends. And the thing about Kuminga is that we control his contract. I don't think we should be so quick to trade away Kuminga when, 1, he's been a positive, right? He has been a positive. And 2, when his contract is that friendly, right? Like, he is literally our only asset. And it's not like he's a negative. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm not bipolar. I've been saying the same shit the whole time. You just got children in your ears, bro. You literally just got children in your ears. Clean the children out, dog. Clean the microscopic children out.
Hey,
LeBron's
bro. Hey,
yeah.
Urkel. So you don't think we're gonna need like a backup power forward for when we get into like the playoffs? Like somebody that could just come in, in for backup that can hold up, because you already know how the referees be trying to put fouls on, your top defenders. And we need backup defenders that's reliable. So if they get in foul trouble, we can withstand.
Yeah, no, I am understand what y'all are saying, man. I mean, yeah, a power forward would be nice, right? But what type of power forward is he? Is he versatile? Can he guard the perimeter? Because I seen the Lakers get physical on the perimeter the other night, and I was like, that is what I'm talking about. I love seeing that because my thing is like, when we get our guys back, we can do the same fucking shit too, right? So I love seeing that. I hated to see them win the other night, but I needed a reminder about what shit is going to be like when things get tough. You know what I'm saying? And I needed to see that because those are the conditions. Excuse me. Those are the conditions in which we're going to win.
Unless we play the Lakers.
Yeah, unless we play them. But even if we play them, I have to know. I need to know, and I don't know this. I need to know that we can get physical as well, right? So if it's a bar fight, right? Who is better in a bar fight out of making their guys better versus Steph and LeBron? Who's better at it?
Nobody.
Exactly. If we're talking about we're in a bar fight and things are defensive, right? And the difference between or the difference in the series is that who's going to make their guys better, LeBron or Steph? I'm going Steph every fucking time. Why? Because I've seen him outdo LeBron over and over and over again, making his guys better.
Eric, let me ask you this. This is my theory in terms of why the league calls these fouls on the Warriors, no matter who they play. I think it's the fact that they have all these guards out there, and the refs are in their mind thinking they're just going to call a foul. If Kuminga's out there more, I don't think that tends to happen. If we could get him on the court and we could have a bigger team, I think we can mitigate a lot of the cheating that goes on against the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But
oh, by the way, did you see that tweet I posted about Stephen A this morning?
No, I'm what did he say?
I'll send it to you and put it in the chat. But he basically said that Steph and LeBron are on the same tier. So I think people around the league, especially if he's saying that, like that means a lot.
Yeah, we know who he listens to. So we always gotta consider that, you know. But what they say here, Lance Stevenson signing with Lance Stevenson.
Who did he sign with?
That's okay, Lance. Bro, he's been out the league for a second, bro. Like, why is this even a thing?
Oh, with the G League.
Yeah, okay. All right. But y'all understand what I'm saying, though, right? Like,
yeah.
The reason why we won the title in 2022 and the team looked loaded is because we lean defense and Steph just did the rest, bro. And he did it in a league where the Warriors were relatively worse than they were in 2016. You know what I'm saying? Relative to the league, they were worse. And we need to figure out how to make up that gap, right? So the question that we should be asking is not really Klay Thompson. It's not really Andrew Wiggins. We should be asking, is Draymond Green enough to get back to where we're going to get back to? That is the question.
He's doing his thing this year. But
he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Defensively, it's like we just need him to be there. And at times, I don't know if his focus is necessarily on the Warriors.
He's missing half the games, dog. He's literally missing half the game. So if you say Pascal Siakam and we pair Draymond with Pascal Siakam, that's a ton of versatility, right? And I do not care about the offense, right? So when people were saying last night, like, oh, you can give Pascal Siakam this, and like, fuck that, bro. No, what are you going to do for me defensively, right? Because that's what I care about. Steph Curry is going to do the thing that he's going to do, and you're going to fall in line. Fuck the possessions that you need. You know, I don't care about the possessions that you need because Steph is the moon and the sun on offense. You know what I'm saying? So how are you going to fit in with him on offense? He's going to just make you better, plain and simple, right? But defensively, where do we need to be? And if you want to know where, like, if I feel hopeless seeing a 114.5 defense. This is atrocious. A lot of these teams, I know we're better than defensively. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, let me ask you this question. In regards to like the true shooting percentage relative to the league and Steph, How low of a margin does that need to be before we are saying get Steph a second star? Because Iverson was at the same relative to league average, but it was a different league back then.
Now here is why that number is looking hella bad, right? Let me pull something up. This is why this number is so bad right now, and why that lineup is a negative, and why we're talking about starting this dude and starting that guy, right? Let me show you what's going on. So if you believe that this is going to hold, right, and there's no coming back from this, this is rough, right? So Klay Thompson this season is okay. Let me do this. So since 2016, right, this is what Klay Thompson is. He's right around here. And why isn't this coming up? This shit just takes forever sometimes. I think it's because I'm screen sharing. So he's right around, say, 58% true shooting. Okay. When he got back from injury, he was a 54.7, right? So in the 32 games, he shot the ball here, and this is where he shot the ball, right? So for his career, right, he's shooting at like 59, 59, 59, 59, 57, right? He shot bad this year towards the first half of the year, and then ever since then, he's been around 50. He's been below 58%. This year, he's at 54%. Last year, he was at 57, almost 58%. So he's essentially shooting like 3 or 4 points worse, right?
And he's shooting worse than the league average.
Exactly, bro.
That's Klay Thompson.
That's Klay Thompson, dog. Exactly. He's shooting worse, true shooting wise, than league average, right? Andrew Wiggins. Let me pull him up as well. Because these are your play finishers, you know what I'm saying? And Wiggins should be better in terms of finishing around the rim. Klay Thompson has never been a rim finisher. So Andrew Wiggins, I'm disappointed in him because he's not finishing, right? So for his career, he's 53%, right? Klay Thompson is, for his career, 57%, right? So since he's been a Warrior, Andrew Wiggins has been 56, 56, 56, and now he's at 48%, right? So relative to last season, he is 8 points worse than last season. Now, is this going to hold? Is Klay Thompson going to shoot 4 points worse than the league? These guys aren't playmakers, you know what I'm saying? So usually I would look at this in terms of a playmaking rubric, you know what I'm saying? So not necessarily, but then you look at Andrew Wiggins here. He's still playing defense, but this cannot hold. It can't hold, right? For that lineup to be a positive, he needs to be here like he was before. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Urkel, do you think that Andrew Wiggins was a little bit hyped up for what he did in Game 5 in the NBA Finals and like his defense he played on Tatum? Because before Andrew Wiggins came to the Warriors, he really wasn't like a consistent threat. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to disrespect him.
No. The thing about Wiggins is that Wiggins came here and he played a role, right? And he played the role at a really high level to the point that he became one of the more valuable two-way players in the league, right? He's giving you 18 and he's giving you elite point of attack defense. How many guys are doing that in the league? You know what I'm saying? 18 points.
I feel what you're saying, but sometimes if the player isn't that good offensively and can't give you that consistently, like 30 consistently, just because he's playing like great point of attack, if he's not giving you nothing on the other end.
No. And that's the point that I'm making right now. The point that I'm making is that he's giving you 48% true shooting and he's giving you 12 points a game. So not only is the volume down, the efficiency is down as well, right?
Yeah.
So his efficiency, he's averaging like 12 points a game now. So he's giving you 12 points a game and he should be averaging 18. So he's 6 points worse, right, on volume. And then in efficiency, he is 8 points worse, right?
So you think that he should be averaging 18 points a game?
Yeah.
And at his age, I think he should probably be a at least 25.
No. He's not going to give you 25, and I don't want him to give 25, right? Law of diminishing returns, bro. This is where he should be, right? If he gives you more than this, that means he's taking more shots. He has more role in the offense, right? And I don't know that if he averages 25, I don't know that he's going to give you high level playmaking, right? And I don't know that he's going to be 55% effective, right? For you to be 25 a night, that means that you're going to take up, 25% of the shots, right? I don't want you to do that.
Another thing too, Urkel, his defense will be sacrificed.
Exactly. I don't want his defense to be sacrificed. So this right here, 17, 18 points a game, is a great balance, right? When people are saying like, oh, they want him to do this. No, I want you to give production so you can keep people off Steph's ass, right? And that requires around 17 a night. But what I also want you to do is that I want you to play lockdown. This is playing a role right here, right? And this is worth it, right? So I don't necessarily want them to run 10 plays for you. I don't want that, right? Because if they're running a shitload of plays for you, that means that you should be a massive threat to score, right? And he's league average. He's league average efficiency wise, right? Typically. Now he's not. He's below league average, right? So he's not an elite playmaker. You saw how many times he turned the ball over, right? But what I do want him to do is that when they force you to score, you're giving us 17. When they run these little plays for you, you're giving us the 17 points, right? But I also need the defense to be there. That is my expectations of him, right? And anyone who has expectations above that, you're not seeing the forest from the trees. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, but I feel you what you're saying. But like when I be watching them, like this is just my opinion when I watch Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
He's not a very good ISO player. So
Slimy, that's exactly the point that I just made. I don't want him to be that, right? Because if I'm going to think about the defense, right?
But that's what we need, though. We need that ISO player.
No, we don't, bro. Like that's where everyone has this thing fucked up, bro. Everybody has this fucked up. Everyone has this fucked up that we need an ISO player, right? We don't need an ISO player. We need Steph Curry to do his thing on offense. Steph Curry doing his thing on offense is a 115 offense right now, along with Chris Paul. We don't need an ISO player. We don't need a guy out there that's going to dribble, tween, and they got Steph Curry's over there. Because you know what's going to happen? When you get a Zach LaVine or this guy over there, and he's tween, and Steph Curry's fucking standing there, guess what the fuck is going to happen? People are going to say, well, Steph is not being aggressive. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. What the fuck, Steph? Go and get the ball.
No, I'm not.
No, bro, but I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Because when KD was here, that's what happened, bro.
Yeah, I feel you.
I would say the only thing to that, Slimy, in some part, I agree with you, but I largely agree with Urkel on this. He convinced me. I would say this. The difference is between this year and the last time they won a championship, they did have another guy who could create his own shot on the court. Even though he wasn't an elite scorer, JP could create his own shot. That's one thing I could say, like, we truly don't have, because everybody else needs the offense to get into their
but here's the thing,
comfortability.
When JP was doing that, bro, a lot of those possessions melted off into turnovers and bad shots. You know what I'm saying?
So we won a championship?
No. Last year it happened.
I'm saying last year for sure. But I'm saying in terms of that formula, I completely agree it works. But JP was a dude who could create at his best.
No,
not last year, but at his best. Yeah.
How many of those possessions in 2022 melted off with him? Remember, he hadn't gotten paid yet, right? Mm-hmm. And he was pretty much still doing the stuff defensively, right? Mm-hmm. He wasn't great at it, but he really tried, right? So he was doing the defensive stuff, and then we got the scoring from him. Yeah, the scoring was important and all of that stuff, but then disease of more kicked in, and then he was asking for more possessions. And let me tell you this, bro. If you get to a certain point in terms of possessions where you are taking over the offense, and defenses start to plan for you, and you don't have that playmaking chops, and you can't make guys better, you're just going to be another nigga on a team taking bad shots on a losing team. You feel right? We see,
no doubt.
Right?
All I'm saying is, I just wish.
The thing that I'm describing now
is
what Andrew Wiggins was in Minnesota, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you, Urkel, what you're saying. But I just feel like that we need somebody else that can create their own shot. Cause I was just watching some Steph Curry 2015 highlights, and we could say Steph Curry is in his greatest shape ever. He's older, but the man is 35. Like, the things we doing today would have worked back in 2015. But right now,
Let me tell you something, bro. If we get another guy,
we need another guy.
Zach LaVine, bro. If we get like a Zach LaVine, say we get Zach LaVine or some shit like that. Zach LaVine can create his own shot, right? So we're gonna give Zach LaVine his own shot. And you know where Zach LaVine is ranked in terms of ISO possessions and all of that?
Pretty low.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So we're gonna give somebody like Zach LaVine who can create their own shot and do all of that and then now we're going to give him primo possessions to give us below league average points per possession.
For me,
does that make, bro? Now we're running
Zach LaVine. I don't agree with Zach LaVine.
For me, I was going to say this real quick.
I do.
I was going to say this real quick. I don't think the answer is in a trade. I think we already have guys who can create their own shot here. Like CP3, even though he's older, he was doing that. When we were winning, he had a large hand in those wins. I think Kuminga could do it. In some degree, I think Wiggins could do it. He has a particular go-to move that he does from Penny Hardaway, like when he's on the post when he's cooking. So if Wiggins is back to shooting his normal percentages, we get back to where we were playing defensively. CP3 comes back.
Yeah.
The 3-guard lineup is kind of like done. CP3 runs his team. Steph runs his team. I think we'd be fine. I think the answer is 3 games is the difference between us being like top 3 in the seed and being a bottom tier team. That's really it. And I think those 3 wins are in the differences between Deuce is playing better.
Yeah. But Lee, you understand what I'm saying though, right? Like, the way the team is now, like the DNA of the team is to play defense, right? And if we're out there, we're just getting baked on defense. I don't give a fuck what second option y'all bring in. It ain't going to work, bro. I'm telling you. If we don't fix this defensive thing, like, let me put it this way. That second score that y'all are talking about, the second option, that's dessert, bro. Can you go day by day by day without having dessert? Probably, right? Do you know what dessert is? Dessert is a fucking yacht. Dessert is a private jet, right? Dessert is having a 5,000 square foot house and you're single. It's a luxury, right? That's what it is, bro. Now, are you going to get by skipping fucking lunch? No, you're not. Are you going to skip lunch and then lift fucking 325 at 4 o'clock? Hell fucking no, you're not, right? So you need to make sure the foundation of the team is shored before we're thinking about luxuries. And it's driving me crazy, bro, because when people are saying, oh, we need a second option, blah, 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 right? Like, we need a second score. Bro, y'all are not seeing what the fuck is going on defensively? That's what we should be fucking focused on. You know what I'm saying? So when Andre says we need a second option that is a two-way player, oh my God, that's fucking Kevin Durant. Of course we need Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant would help a lot on both ends, 100%. Those guys are worth $40 million though, and other teams aren't letting those guys go. You know what I'm saying? So when people say that, of course I would love to fuck supermodels, bro. But guess what? Guess what, dog? I am not an 8-figure nigga yet. So guess what? I won't be fucking, you know what I'm saying? So, right? So that's all I'm saying, bro. You know why Clay gets those primo IG models? Because he's 8 figures, bro. That's why. You think it's strictly because he's handsome? Come on, dog. Nah, man.
But Urkel, our second option that we have right now isn't even good anymore. It's like, though, like, who is our second option right now? Clay or Wiggins?
Bro.
Clay ain't good no more. And Wiggins is, to me,
bro,
Wiggins ain't good either.
You missed the whole, I think you just hopped on and you missed the whole analysis that I just did. I've been doing like an analysis for like hour and a half basically about why they're actually bad. You know what I'm saying? And I will listen to Siakam. I really would. But at what cost? You know? And are you positive that if we trade away real shit for Siakam, that he's going to get us to a top 10 defense?
No, I don't think it should be Siakam. I don't think that. I'm just saying that I just don't. This team, bro. Yeah. This team has to beat the odds. I'm just trying to,
they beat the odds on how we can beat it. So they beat the odds in 2022 based on the thing that I just laid out, bro. In 2022, this is why when I see people I see people make arguments on the timeline and y'all let these fucking LeBron fans bend y'all over a fucking chair, bro. Like, they should not have these arguments against y'all. Because what Steph Curry did in 2022, LeBron James has never done, bro. He's never done it. Ever done it. You know what I'm saying? He's never done it. What Steph Curry did in 2022 is pretty much did what Allen Iverson couldn't do. That's what he did in 2022. Let me say it again. Allen Iverson was a 1 seed in the East, right? Heavy defensive team, went through the Eastern Conference and lost in 5 games in the finals. Steph Curry won the title with the same type of makeup of team. Literally. King, you cannot debate me on this, bro. I just laid it out. I'm going to post it on YouTube and you go back and listen. And if you want to fucking argue, you go and argue. But you can't argue because I'm 100% right. You can't argue it. You cannot.
No, LeBron has never did it. Like
LeBron has never done what Steph did in 2022. And I can fucking lay out the argument.
And the thing is, like, the closest thing people would say is, 2007 and maybe even 2015. Dog, you wasn't playing anybody in the East.
Dog.
You playing essentially the bottom half of the league. You're playing like expansion teams in terms of rosters on your way to the finals. Yeah, you're going to get there. As soon as he got to the West, the nigga didn't even make the playoffs until he got Anthony Davis.
Bro, y'all are not understanding, man.
Like, give Steph Anthony Davis right now and see what happens.
Bro, Anthony Davis has had Kevin Durant of that ilk. LeBron has had like 4 dudes like that, bro.
Right.
And he has 4 championships. And y'all have the nerve to say this man is better than Steph Curry? Hell fucking no, he's not. Right? So when I hear people say, we have Bron has Anthony Davis, Kawhi has Paul George, and this guy has Joel Embiid had James Harden, and blah, 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 blah. And we can go on and on and on about this, right? And we talk about the second option thing and this, that, and the other. When I said get Kevin Durant back, this is exactly what I was talking about. My conditions were, if we were to trade away the young guys, get a fucking top 10 guy in there. That's what I said. Go get KD. And motherfuckers on the timeline, right? We're telling me, don't go get KD. Let KD go for dead. So now you're operating off narratives and not wanting to win basketball games and operating. Now you see that the team is struggling. Now you're like, oh, we don't want Kevin Durant now. Bro, there's nobody else, bro. There's nobody else. And now what we're doing in terms of the second option is that we're bringing in a bunch, bro. We're bringing in a bunch of 5s, bro, a bunch of 4s, right? You're giving a bunch of 5s and 4s, right? So you're striking out. Bro. Here's literally what we're doing. At the end of the night, right? So you're at the club and you're striking out left and right. And you're probably $50 down in terms of buying $10 for that girl. And you're fucking striking out. She's taking your drinks and she's fucking drinking it and laughing with her friends. So she's over there, she's laughing with her friends. Ha ha ha. Look at this bozo. He just bought me. She's leaving with another nigga. And then at the end of the night, you're outside the club and you are pulling a 5, bro. You're pulling a 4. That's what you're doing. And you're telling,
gotta put that.
And now you're going home and you're telling that 4, right? You're telling that 5, oh my God, you know what? Well, I might as well, you know what I'm saying? I might as well, blah, blah, blah. And then you wake up the next morning and you feel like shit. You feel like shit.
Or you got to tell her, don't post you. Don't post me the next
Don't post
day.
me. Don't post me. Next thing you know, right? Then you end up on Instagram, right? And then you didn't want to be posted. You know what I'm saying? You're getting posted up with a 4 and a 5, bro. Come on, dog. Now all your boys are
some of these players,
they're like, how the hell players that they were, bro? Come on,
some of these players that they were arguing to keep was,
bro,
you know,
the second
for
options
outside of basketball.
Bro, the second options that y'all want, bro, the second options that y'all want are mid, right? You're mid.
Hey, Eric, you gonna be like that dude dancing in the club on the TL? The black dude dancing with that big girl in the club, and the police had to come pull him off the security.
Bro, come on, man.
The lights already came on in the club.
Yeah, bro. Come on, dog. I'm telling y'all. All right. Dre's about to start his thing up, but I'll leave on that note, and we'll get back later and we'll talk about this more while we watch some games. But I appreciate y'all for listening, man. I'll catch up with y'all later.
Yes, sir. Take care, y'all.
All right.